Ron.
Hey,
And
Ron.
we are live.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Happy
Yes,
New
sir.
Year!
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's to y'all. That I recently
Man.
found out the saying is actually New Year. You're supposed to say Happy New Year.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
texting New Year's
Yeah,
all day, and my phone kept correcting me. And I
yeah.
was like, it doesn't make sense to say years.
It just
So,
something doesn't sound right. Happy New Year.
well, spell check be wrong too. Because I be trying to be like nigga and they keep changing it to bigger or some other shit. So
well,
shout out
that's
to
neither
spell
here
check
nor
being
there.
No,
wrong.
that's not spell check isn't wrong. Spell check is uh it doesn't like
Disrespectful.
that. Yeah, it doesn't like that. It doesn't want you using that word.
Facts.
It's
Yeah.
giving you another word to use. So when you want to call somebody a nigga, you gotta be like, "What up, my bigger?"
Facts.
All right.
That's pretty interesting because that's pretty cool to be calling someone your bigger. But I don't know. That kind of sounds more worse than because that's too close to bugaboo.
Mm.
I just need spell check to understand my vocabulary and know that I don't need you to be changing my come here's into coke here. Like it be changing the wrong words. The wrong words is what it be changing
Mhm.
most of the
If that
time.
don't put if that don't talk about coke, if it is indeed talking about coke on your thing, that means that you've texted that, and it might be thinking you're talking about soda.
Mm.
Mm.
Speaking of Coke, let's just go ahead and
Don't
I'm
do
a
it. Don't
well,
do it. Please do not do it like this.
I am about to do it like this because I feel like I can do this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As a
Okay.
loyal fan, as a loyal follower and a believer, and actually living her lyrics.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Gangsta Boo.
Rest in
Mm.
Um,
peace to Gangsta Boo
she
for sure.
passed. She passed away. Of course, when they say someone passes away, it's either suicide or a drug related death. And allegedly, according to the news, it was a drug related death.
Of
Mm.
course.
Supposedly, she died from an overdose.
Yeah.
And that kind of it. I want to say it hit me different, but it was like a rude awakening for me. Her dying this way because oftentimes, and it's New Year's Eve, oftentimes when we're celebrating, some people may partake in extracurricular,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
extracurricular
Yeah. The turn up.
items. You know what I'm saying, for extra turn up, and sometimes it just seemed like all she was trying to do was have fun, and it threw me off guard because nowadays, like with the fentanyl and everything, you can't I was never a fan of the booger sugar, you know what I'm saying, but even still, like they put in fentanyl in everything, pills, molly, weed, you name it.
You
So like, in the name of trying to have a good time, I just want people to be very, very careful, and be careful of what you put into your body. Honestly, like this, it hit hard. Like we love, us hood bitches. We love Gangsta Boo. You know what I'm saying? While them thought hoes was listening to Lil Kim and Foxy, I was banging gangsta. So
mm-hmm.
um, it's just
I just want to.
hard.
I mean, first off, I just want to say that people need to realize that like it's reality. You know what I'm saying? Like even though these people are celebrities and they, you know what I'm saying, have big fame, there's still a reality they have to live in. They still have bills to pay. They still have mouths to feed. They still have stresses in their lives, right?
Mm,
Yep.
And I used to work at a mental health organization or behavioral health organization, right? So seeing things like this is really like, and there are other things that like people can do and use, but it's also dangerous too. Because I even a friend of mine, model friend, was, you know what I'm saying, one time about to pass out, and I had to give him a Narcan, and they was upset, they was pissed off because what the Narcan does is it takes all of the drugs completely out your system. So they was pissed off with me because they was like, "You blew my high," and I'm like, "Young, I just saved your life. Like, you didn't
What?
pass out." You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's different situations that could be dangerous, but like I don't you never know somebody's exact situation. You know what I'm saying? And I know there was another one that I saw where Kanye West was like, "Nah, I didn't take those drugs because if I would have taken those drugs, they would have been like, oh yeah, his music was great, but now they saying I'm out here belligerent and crazy and doing all this stuff. But they would have put me on that medication, y'all would have been hearing nothing from Kanye." So you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know everybody's situation, but I do know that you need to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to know your body, know yourself, and know situations that you're getting into. And if the vibe is not feeling right or it's feeling uncomfortable, you need to relieve yourself from that situation because you can be putting yourself in danger. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's something that you use all the time. And because what was the other one? I think I was talking to somebody earlier. Was it Mac Miller?
And
Yeah,
Big Scar, I think recently Big Scar. Let me look that up. I
yep.
think
Big Scar died of an overdose on his prescription medication, though.
See, but even that, you know what I'm saying? Like we was saying that too much of anything could be bad for you. Too much
Yeah,
smoking every day could be bad for you. Too much alcohol could give you alcohol poison. So too
yeah.
much of anything is never good.
Too much of anything, or even being happy all the time, is bad.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You know, it's
It was
like,
it's just I want to say it's fucked up, but it's really not because the first thing that came to mind when the news came out is I said it was a drug overdose. My homegirl, she was like, "No, she changed her life. She
mm,
got saved. I thought she wasn't doing drugs anymore." And I was like, "Well, it's New Year's Eve, so maybe she just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to try a little bit." And she's up in age, and as you get up in age, your body
Your
can't
body, yeah.
tolerate the same drugs you was able to tolerate when you was younger. You
where,
know.
where did your friend get that she was saved and her
This
life?
She said that this was like years ago. She supposedly had changed her life around.
Nah, man. I watched her last little stint on reality TV, Celebrity Boot Camp,
Mhm.
and she got kicked out because she couldn't stop using drugs and snuck some drugs in the house, and they
Mhm.
had to kick her out. I mean, but it's crazy that that stuff happens like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of celebrities was going out like that last year with the drug overdose or the fentanyl and stuff like that. But the reality of the matter is, people are going through stuff
Mm-hmm.
and dealing with it how they deal.
Or they
Well,
just
every
want to
day,
have a good time. I don't think it was more so like when people don't knowingly. Some people knowingly take fentanyl, but it could have just been a usual, sniff sniff. But I didn't get it from my usual dealer. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying? Like,
did they say it was fentanyl yet? Because they said there was no foul play.
I don't know if it's fentanyl. All I know is that it was a drug overdose. So that could mean
yeah,
she
I didn't
took
hear
too
what drug.
much of something, or it was tainted with Fetty. So either or, it's still it's New Year's Eve. It's in the realm of partying, as
Yeah, we
opposed
gonna
to you
find
just
out.
randomly trying to kill yourself. I think she was
I
a good
mean, listen, people test their limits all the time, right? Because
Yep.
some people smoke cigarettes and they're like, oh, yeah, it's for meditation. But on the cigarette package, it says that too much of this tobacco will give you cancer. It says it on the box. You know what I'm saying? People drink alcohol every single day, and it says that too much of this consumption can cause alcohol poisoning,
liver
can
damage.
cause malfunction to your livers, but they still drink it every day. With their side effects to all these medications, and we see it on the commercials, and the side effects be crazy. It'd be like a medication for a headache, but the side effects be constipation, diarrhea, butt sneezing, and some other crazy stuff. And I'd be sitting there like, why would I take this medication if it's gonna cause suicidal thoughts? And like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm
But you
saying?
ask
So
yourself, like, man, y'all know me, bro. I know we ain't supposed to take it to Big Pharma, but they know what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's based on whatever your insurance is, you're gonna get whatever. But when we talking about drugs,
Mhm.
drugs are, we have to start make sure that we finish the statement with drugs of choice.
choice.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
we're not talking about someone who, so like, risk in everything we do. I mean, if somebody got the job, so they want to skydive, they take the risk of their parachute not opening.
No,
Like,
you have to be trained. Like I've been skydiving. You have to actually be trained before you go up there. You can't just
yeah,
go up there
and you
and
still
skydive.
take the risk. You can go up there 100 times successfully.
Even scuba diving, you have to go to a training for an hour before you could put on your scuba suit. You can't just go and put a scuba suit on and go diving. No, you
And
could
you can
kill
dive
yourself.
100 times successfully, and 101 be the
Well,
most.
I don't know about
Yeah.
the scuba diving. Well, no, I did snorkeling. I didn't do scuba. Okay,
Snorkeling is different. Snorkeling,
different.
they
Yeah,
let you snorkel, but scuba diving, you actually have to train to go scuba diving.
yeah,
Snorkeling is
because you
when you
got to
just on top
train
of the
your brain.
water with the little thing and a life vest on. But I'm talking about like scuba diving. Now you have to train. Skydiving.
Yeah, I play water. I don't do anything I don't do any type of water stuff. Like I don't do anything with extreme sports or dangerous anymore. I don't do anything
Oh
reckless.
yeah, see, I used to be a lifeguard, so I'm not scared of no water. And
Well, I mean, you try. I figure why not at least try it one time? Like when I went parasailing, when I
I
was
haven't done that
scared.
yet.
I was scared shitless. Like I'm afraid of heights. But I was like, I always see the little thing in the sky when I go out of the country. I want to get on it. And the wind was blowing us every which way. There was a moment where I was like, oh my gosh, if this joint dropped. But I know how to swim. So as long as we're over the ocean, I'm good with it. But while we're
Right.
in the realm of talking about death and drugs and stuff like that, I also want to say rest in peace to Knucklehead. Now, he didn't die of any type of drug related incident, but I had been watching him for some months. And shout out to my homeboy Tyrone, who actually introduced us. And I never actually followed up on an interview, but I just had been watching him for months, and he kind of was like just speaking in tongues, shall we say, or just like he used to say things like, like come for me, like if you want it, I die for this, and those affirmations around death. And
Hmm.
I think if I'm not mistaken, he was in a car accident and passed
Yeah,
away. And it was just like, people was posting one of his last things, text messages to pray was, "Oh, when I die, it's gonna be something." I forgot the word he used. But it's just, and that's a DMV artist. For y'all don't know who Knucklehead is. He's extremely talented. It's just I feel like we are our biggest enemies, or I don't know.
we are. It's called the
So
power of the tongue.
I say it's the law of attraction, and also they teach us this in elementary school, and we don't realize it. But these are spelling words. When you're having spelling tests, you're having spelling bees. These are spelling words, right? And what do witches cast and warlocks cast? Spells. So the things you can really speak stuff into existence. You can speak stuff into happening. You can be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and that's what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? You ever like think something, a thought, and then right after you think that thought, it happens. Like this stuff is real. You know what I'm saying? And some people, it's crazy because there was even an episode of Atlanta, and the dude, he put out his mixtape, and his mixtape was what would they call it, like a treasure hunt, or like when you got a search or whatever, like a clue, and it sent you to his funeral. Like that was the craziest thing ever. It was like a word search, and in his album it had like the word search to his funeral. So like you could really speak stuff into existence. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like
100%.
people gotta be careful about what they say, how they say stuff to people, and the energy they put out. Sometimes your energy can be off and bad, but you have to know how to direct it. You have to know how to, you know what I'm saying, use that in a way that's like, even I think we talked about this on another episode. You could take, you know what I'm saying, you could take 500, you can take your money and go be like, yeah, I'm about to go fuck some shit up and go shoot somebody or kill somebody, or you can take it and be like, all right, I'm gonna shoot a music video, or I'm gonna make, you know what I'm saying, make something out of this to express how my emotions was feeling at this time. You know what I'm saying? Like to express it a different way. Because I'm sorry, but I just feel like, and it's even a crazy post. I feel like Soldier Boy was talking about he's condoning the violence, and I just feel like the violence for no reason is not helpful, and especially from Soldier Boy saying that when he got smacked on his live and had his phone taken. So like, you condoning the violence?
Who smacked him?
This was years ago. I don't know if nobody remember, but this was a long time ago. This had to been like 5 years ago when Soldier Boy was on live. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm from out here," and the dude was like, "Man, what?"
Oh yeah, that's when he went to Cali.
Yeah.
But in that same breath of what you're speaking about, right? Cash Money Records, they were asked in the interview about their rise to fame. They said that every record was a manifestation of what they wanted. They didn't have jewelry and nice ice, so they wrote the song Bling Bling.
Right.
So these are things that I think that anybody with power or understands how to tap into their power. Any artist that's successful and has a name for himself knows how to successfully tap into his powers. Whatever power it be, the power of influence, the power of networking and meeting, the power of camouflage, the power of, whatever. The level that they get to is what's interesting, Because, like you said, if we all understood the power of the tongue, which everybody does, and that's probably why a lot of people don't do music, or a lot of people make the type of music that they make.
Or some people are just writers. They don't want to be on the front scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's levels to it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys. Well, before we get into my question, let's just go ahead and move forward. So you guys, were you shocked when Tory was found guilty?
Bro.
I was. The reason I was because of what I was hearing about the case. It seems like they turned it into bringing up things from his past to, you know what I'm saying, try to make this situation look guilty. But from the neighbor, from the security, you know what I'm saying, like from security, the neighbor, and whatever that was, the hairstylist, from their confessions, or you know what I'm saying, their statements, it doesn't seem like he was right there. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, it sounds like her friend either did that or she possibly shot herself. From their statements, that's what I heard. So when I did hear that he was charged guilty, I was surprised.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I saw two things in that case. Black man versus black woman.
That part.
And a gun being involved.
Yeah.
Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm the type of person that understands law, right? Even if he didn't shoot her, because they didn't have anybody else as a co-defendant, you know what I'm saying, to put that on. They proved that a shot was fired. They proved that he was in the area. That's like, dang, case closed. Once I heard that nobody was saying no, it wasn't Tory that shot her.
Yeah,
I knew it was in the hands of God knows, black man against black woman. And I have been saying for a long time, if it's black man against anybody, he's gonna lose unless he's thinking white. And you know what Tory was thinking? Like a black man. He should have had an OJ type team up that joint because OJ was thinking white. That's how he got off.
I'm gonna be honest with you, like listening to what you said, Sixxcess, it's definitely some things that I feel like he could have done to protect himself.
Besides write music songs like Shooter.
Yep.
And get out and write songs to antagonize the case.
Well, and Kelsey has songs that I mean, it wasn't as bad as Tory, but I think the thing that threw me off is nobody wants to talk about them two fighting. Kelsey and Meg. Nobody's bringing it up. Like they're skipping over the whole what led up to the shooting and just going from Kylie's party to her getting shot.
One, I think it's an embarrassment to say that possibly I shot myself, or they don't want to turn the name from Meg Thee Stallion into Cheddar Meg. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's another possibility. But then also, it's not helpful if you know what I'm saying. One, I think as a black man, you need to protect yourself. And even though it's against and they have, no snitching or whatever, if you feel like you're in a situation that somebody has a police statement against you, go make your police statement. You need to say that, I don't know who shot, but I heard gunshots. I'm scared. Like,
let's be real though. Tory mishandled this situation from the word go.
Yes. That's what I think.
You said from the word what?
From the word go.
How?
Well, apparently, from the way, if we follow it all, his team was the first team to make the statement.
Facts.
His team was the first team to make it whole public thing about discrediting one story and making his story right. When he had, what we see was he had 2-3 willing parties that was all in it together, willing to shut their damn mouths.
From the beginning.
I mean, hello. What? Okay, this is like what? Swept under the rug, swept under the rug, swept under the rug. I don't know what I'm talking about. He could have took like this. He could have used some real good PR tactics on that in the beginning. Nobody likes to be made look stupid, especially the LAPD. They ain't gonna never let what? The saddest thing about it is this is more about getting a conviction than Tory Lanez actually doing time. Do y'all want to start taking a poll for how much time Tory may actually do?
No.
I don't think he's gonna do no time. If any 2 years, 23 months maybe.
Why you say that?
Well,
because of what they found him guilty of. So like they didn't find him of possession because he didn't have the firearm in his possession.
no, they did actually.
No, I thought it was unlawful use or something.
Yeah, and possession.
Oh, and possession?
He looking at about 20 years, but I don't think that. I mean, this is first offense, and you don't have the witness actually pressing for a conviction. I mean, you don't have the victim pressing for a conviction. This is just the state needing a conviction on their books, getting some money out of this situation. It went to trial. They made some money. I hear there's talk about deporting him, but he lives in Canada. Even if they deport him, Canada is like America, a hop, skip away. He can still probably be able to get a work visa to work. He just won't be able to probably stay around Meg. So the reality of the matter is, when you look at a situation like that, they just want to put a man in the books. His father is throwing hints of Illuminati out there. Throwing some major, because I didn't sign, now I'm doing time type talk out there. Is Jay-Z that big? Does he really believe that? Is this possible? Time will tell. There's a lot of big accusations being thrown out here.
I don't know. I don't know. Something just ain't right. Or maybe so I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna not even indulge in that anymore because it's just too damn confusing. Like to me it doesn't make sense. It just seems like they wanted to lock him up.
He should have got out there and started singing.
Or convict him just for face sake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because of the public and stuff like that. I don't the case just is all over the place.
Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Megan been getting a lot of wins. She also won her state case against her record label. Now, she said that she ain't no dummy. She just twerks for fun. And it's looking like she ain't no dummy. You know, she's having a good time in court right now. 2-0. Swinging heavy. So I hope that Tory, is good, and hey, I just hope that he don't do too much time and lose his whole life over a real bad time, a very bad incident. But it could be worse.
Crazy. That is absurd. So my next question after this is who's more important or what's more important? The art or the artist?
All right. I gotta say it like this. The artist is more important than the art.
Jmoney?
I feel like the artist is the one who makes the art. So yeah, it's the artist.
I agree. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking, like, when people die, their managers or their team still put out music with their voices on it, but there's really I don't really see people running to buy the new Biggie Smalls album. I don't see people running to buy the new Tupac album. You know what I'm saying? So when I was thinking about it, I was like, damn, once somebody dies, really, the new music that people put out after you die people don't really be searching for it. Like they'll play or they'll be looking at all of the stuff that you did while you were alive versus when you died.
Now let me tell you why. Why this is my take on this. Fans are like time capsules. They don't last forever. They're in a time block and they stay in that time block. The reason why a Biggie or a Tupac album wouldn't sell like a Juice WRLD album just so when he passed away, right? Or XXXTentacion album passed away is because Tupac and Biggie, if they were alive, they would not have the buying fans. You know what I'm saying? Even they would have had to transcend down to the 20-year-olds and the 26-year-olds and the 16-year-olds to get that. And of course, it's argumentative. Would they have adapted to their time? You know what I'm saying? Would they have dumbed it down for today's time? Like, that's the reality of it. No one is going to worry about that when it comes to selling for older artists.
I want to agree and disagree with both of y'all because what happens if you don't realize now, the same songs that we were listening to in the 90s, they're remaking and saying different lyrics on. Right? Mm-hmm. So like even Meg Thee Stallion got I'd rather be a BITCH. Where'd that come from? You know what I'm saying? So you can regenerate music for the audience, right? But they're not going to go back and listen to Tupac. Like when somebody heard of Tupac, they was like, what? I thought this was Meg Thee Stallion because this generation doesn't know. They're born in 2000 and they're 21 now. They're 22 now. They're 23 now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, even if they go back.
No, but I'm saying before that, they wasn't going back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the people who listened to Tupac were still on CDs and MP3 players and USBs. The new generation is not on that.
Look at it. If I go out this journey, be like, yo, J Money, I got 3 cars. I'm gonna let you choose one of them. I got this Flintstone joint. You gotta put your foot out, you know, to get it going. No gas needed, you know. Just put your feet out to get it going, like the Flintstones used to do. I got this little wagon with the crank engine.
Then you got the Tesla.
I got the Tesla. I got anything new. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, there's gonna be some old man who's gonna be like, "You're crazy. That Flintstone one was the vehicle of our time."
Right.
And even he can't enjoy it anymore. Because he can't even better the Flintstone jump. He put him in that Tesla.
Cars are still cars. They still got to be on 4 wheels. But what happens? They upgrade the car. They update the system of the car. Some cars don't even need. They have push to starts now. You know what I'm saying? So why would you could get a Chevy Malibu, but do you want to get the Chevy Malibu from 1995?
I'm gonna hit you like this, though.
The 2023 Chevy Malibu.
Music is a car.
Right. But what engine are you putting in it? Are you changing?
That's what we see.
Are you updating your car? Like, listen, a punch buggy can still run to this day. A 1989 punch buggy can still be running until this day.
1967 punch buggy can still
1967 punch buggy, excuse me, I'm sorry, can still be running until this day if you take care of the car.
Correct. Yeah, but it's gonna look hella dumb kicking out that stupid old immune system that it used to kick out back in the day. Everyone's gonna be wondering, bro, have you upgraded that thing? What have you done to it? Is that still original parts?
They had a show called Pimp My Ride. I don't know if you remember
the fakest show on MTV history.
And he used to give them the keys and they'd officially be pimped, right? You can update your car. He used to find the people with the weak car, and you know what he used to do? Update they shit.
Well, he only updated the cosmetics because under the hood was still jacked up. But I totally agree with you though, J Money, because I like vintage cars. And sometimes I see them on the road and I be like, you know, especially that 1979 Benz. I see that on the road all the time. I see people driving that old ass.
It's valuable.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't matter though, unless they upgrade it to
Not necessarily.
They didn't
unless
upgrade it.
No,
unless they fix it and make the upgrades.
no. Because I can tell you right now, I've been doing movies. You know, I'm doing the movies and the shows and all that stuff. The time period is supposed to be 1963. They need the cars to look like 1963.
Yeah,
So if you could still have that car looking like how it looked in 1963, oh, they're gonna pay you some thousands.
yeah, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
But
So yes, there still is value in the oldness, but you still need to be able to update it. It still needs to be able to move. It still needs to be able to function. Because if it can't, you're not gonna make no money. I've heard them take artists' songs who are dead and put them on remixes. They've done it with Pop Smoke. I've heard artists who get listened to more, I think, after they died than when they were alive.
That's not an argument, but that's easy. And we're talking that's first day, first week after the death, up until the funeral type of listens. That's not like they don't become the new greatest artists of the world, because people understand the reason why people will jump on that is because, like I said, fans are not growing with artists.
Mm-hmm.
So in that moment, everyone is in that moment. So you're gonna go higher than you went when you were alive. If when you were alive, you were catering to a certain market, right? Which, if you're a new artist, you are catering to a certain market. And even if you're an older artist, you're catering to your market. There's a whole market that's not even catered to you, that don't even know about you, that gets exposed to you through your death and through news and media.
Okay.
So that drives a peak. But why would they all go and listen? Because they don't have to reinvest later. This investment right now, I can go back. All the music is free and right there. This one-time investment doesn't change anything. I won't have to grow with this artist.
Right.
That's how it works. It's like a car. If I go out and buy a used car,
it's a rental.
Or buy a rental, whatever I do to it, it doesn't matter. I may buy it. I may throw some.
No, it's not even buying the rental. It's
drive it all crazy. I may do whatever to it, you know. But when I get a brand spanking new car, something that's really like brand new and shiny, I'm like, yo, don't eat in my car. I'm parking way where ain't nobody else at. You know what I'm saying? And that's how, when you look at these new artists, they get put, when they see the value in them, they put them where they can't be touched by nobody else. And anybody else that tries to imitate them or tries to say, oh, I can do that because I'm good. I can do that because I make music. I should be doing that. Well, you ain't really doing what they doing. You ain't got no Hemi under there. You ain't got the brand new suspension. You ain't got, you can't keep telling me you riding around with your 1960 shocks and wondering why it ain't riding smooth when you hit the bumps, why you losing traction, why you losing control. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all these things gotta change. And for real, who be making these changes? Everybody be thinking, I'm good. I had to tell my wife, I said, look, we gotta trade in our car and get a brand new car. She all like, no, that's just crazy. This one's paid off. I said, yeah, but nah, if every 2 months you got to take it to the shop, it's keeping you from doing
more.
what
Yeah,
you're
it's
supposed to do.
You might as well, yeah. Sometimes people
I'm gonna go with Tiff on this one. I kind of like, I would keep. I don't like bills, so my car is paid off. I'm not like, I was just telling my homegirl the other day. People was like, why didn't you upgrade? I'm not. If I buy this car and I pay for it, I'm not about to go and get another bill. I'll just fix it until it's unfixable no more. But I'm not gonna get another bill, because guess what? You're gonna get another car and still have to do maintenance on that new car as well. So. It
not a new car. Not a new car. You're not gonna have to do maintenance on a new car.
Okay, maybe for the first year or two, but max, you still gonna have to.
A new car is not gonna start giving you problems until the same time frame that your old car started giving you problems. Once you paid it off,
you got 100,000 miles on the new car.
Okay.
But I think that
ideally, but potholes, all types of outside factors can mess up your new car before time.
This is life. You know what I'm saying? Like, life, they're gonna be potholes, they're gonna be speed humps, they're gonna be bumps in the roads. It's gonna be, that's a part of life, and you need to factor that in. You know what I'm saying? You need to factor in the budget for gas, unless you get an electric car. These are things that are going to guaranteed be things that you have to pay. But some people need to stop thinking microwave right now. Like, yes, over time, it might even out. It might make more sense to be like, yeah, I might as well get the new car because after all these repairs every month, it's costing the same as if I would have been paying the car note. So,
honestly,
I'd rather pay the car note and I don't have to worry about maintenance and all this other stuff because it's covered under the new, you know what I'm saying, my new lease, than having to go and pay all this other money out of pocket and I can't do what I need to do. And my car's not functioning.
Would y'all agree bills keep you hungry?
I mean, that's their job.
No. I don't think so.
I think a lot of people don't have a business mindset in terms of just putting things together. Because it's crazy. Because I was talking to an artist. I just recorded an artist, and I realized that they didn't have their business together. And I was just like, so you don't have like ASCAP or BMI? So like, how you paying? Because you know what I'm saying? It was like 200 something for the session. So I'm like, how you paying? Oh, I'm doing DoorDash. And I'm like, you doing DoorDash to pay for 500 for a video and, you know what I'm saying, 250 for a session? And I'm like, man, that's kind of backwards. Like, you got to think about it. If you would have paid $50 for ASCAP, you were making music for, you said, 8 years, and you never signed up with ASCAP? Like, why not?
But you know what though? Like, this person probably don't have no bills.
Or
but
they
if they don't,
no guidance. A lot of people, you know,
they're spending money, more money than needed on studio time, on gas in their car for DoorDash, on weed, on music videos.
No, you're saying they're wasting their money and not spending it wisely, right?
I'm saying the choices on how you spend it can make a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and I'm totally agreeing with you.
You can be spending money every single week, every single month, $100 for new tires because you know what I'm saying, that the rotors are so messed up. Oh, I gotta get rotors. Oh, I gotta get brakes every single month. And then looking at that after a year, you like, damn, I could have been spending that same amount on a brand new car and been happy. You know what I'm saying? Not stress-free because I chose to spend the same amount of money in a different way.
If you're paying a car note and your rotors keep getting messed up, you're going to pull up to that dealership.
I'm not saying
you're going to tell them, get it together. Take the car back and get me another one.
Right.
I'm not going to be paying for this.
Right. Your car is
Let me take a second to shout out. Let me take a second to shout out that Make More Music sweatshirt. Shout out to Pat Apparel. Yeah, Make More Music. But the reality of it is this, bro. Right? Artists are not doing that stuff.
No.
When they are making sure that the bills are paid. If they had responsibilities and things to take care of, they run right to the computers and take care of all of their paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
I had one artist that I told him for years when I first met him for years, get your ASCAP, get your BMI, bro, get your paperwork together. It wasn't until he had a kid that he's like, oh, bro, I'm trying to do shows. I got my BMI.
Serious now.
It's like, that's what separates though a lot of these young artists, because when you look at a lot of these artists that's really got their stuff together, they young.
Let me tell you, I think people get in the way of themselves. It's not one person who doesn't have bills. Don't tell me about your fucking bills. We all got them. We all have cell phones. We got cell phone bills. You know what I'm saying? We all have bills.
Not if you got a government phone.
People have stuff, life stuff that goes on, but like I have life stuff that goes on, but I can't take that out on all the people around me, or else I'm not going to be able to function. I can't take out the fact, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't take out this stuff every day, or I'm not going to be able to function. I think people get in the way of themselves, and they be like,
staff is a bill.
You said what's a bill?
Your staff is a bill.
Your staff is a bill. You know what I'm saying? But you can't get in the way of yourself. You can't get in the way and just be like, man, yeah, I'm so depressed. I'm just going to stop making music for a couple of years, and then we'll try to come back. Like, what?
Your marketing is a bill.
It's like, but you need to put this into perspective, and artists need to stop being scared of the word budget. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop being scared. Let me tell you how much money you could make for having a budget. If you have a budget, you can make $3,000. It's January. I'm giving y'all some gems right now. Whoever's listening, take note. There's always, every single year, and Sixxcess knows about this too. Every single year, there's a Sonar Songwriters Grant. Grant means that you don't have to pay it back. $3,000. The Sonar Songwriters Grant. Only thing you need is to show that you have been an ASCAP or BMI member, or that you have a PRO for 2 years. Showing that you had a PRO for 2 years, and also showing that you have a budget, say for an album or for a music video. Those are the two things they ask for. Proof saying that you were with a PRO, a performing rights organization, for 2 years, and a budget. A cost saying how much it will cost you if you went on tour, how much it would cost you if you released an album, how much it would cost you if you shot a music video and wanted to put it out. Do you have marketing? Do you have your things together? They'll give you the money. All you have to do is show these two things, two simple things, and artists don't have that. And the ones that don't, you can't take serious. It's like, that's what I was saying. You can't work at a job and say that I work here if you don't have a way to clock in on the time clock. If you don't have a way to say, okay, this is how I'm getting paid. If your song does not have a UPC, you cannot get paid for that song. That's the barcode. That's what's bringing the money in. If you don't have that, you're playing. You're doing this for fun. You might as well write for somebody else and give it to Drake and let him collect the money.
And J Money being nice, because none of that matters if you got a UPC code with 0 streams and 0 sales and 0.
I didn't even get there. But I'm just saying, at least pay yourself, because if you have a UPC code, you can listen to your own music 1,000 times. If your music is that good, you should listen to it at least 1,000 times. Shouldn't be an alligator mouth on your own music. People are scared to market. They're scared to be like, oh yeah, I'll pay to get on the playlist. Why not? Pay to get on the playlist. You'll get unique listeners. That's what you want, right? No, I ain't trying to pay to get on no playlist, man. They just should put me on there. Okay. Let's see how that goes for you.
Yep. So let me ask y'all a question, right? Who y'all think gonna have the biggest year, men or women, this year?
Coming up?
Yeah, 2023.
Women.
I mean, of course Tanya would say that.
Of course she would, but nah, she a Gucci fan.
Nah, the reason I said women is because
Cardi.
nah, definitely not. We was riding to Philly and my playlist was, I was just telling my friends, I was like, dang, like as we was listening to music, I'm DJing, I'm like, dang, I don't even listen to that. I don't listen to guys no more. Like my list is my playlist is lit full of women rapping. Like honestly, you got this new girl Libra, you got Rican. It's these girls is
Oh, time out. Rican has a song out?
Mm-hmm.
Rican the Menace.
Yeah.
Wow. Now let me tell y'all something, man. Rican the Menace is hilarious, and that's amazing. I'm proud of her. She told me to watch, and I told her I will be watching. And Rican, I'm sorry that was slip me, but I'm gonna go check out your music. I hope it's as good as we waited for. Y'all know they gave that girl a lot of money over there in Colombia without having no music at all out.
You know who's growing on me too?
Who that?
Ice
Don't
Spice.
you tell me Ice Spice.
Ice Spice is growing on me. I got 3.
Okay.
I got 3 of her songs on my playlist, and of course, one of them is by default. But it's catchy. You know, like I like her song Euphoric. She got a song called Euphoric. I've been listening to her lyrics more so than the tone in which she's delivering the music. But I feel like the females is pretty much coming up. Don't forget about Glitter Gang. We got Gloss Up, K Carbon coming up. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. I'm looking at my list right now.
Let me agree with you, Tanya. Like I definitely agree. The women have been coming up strong. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was listening to Sixxcess shit and it fucked me up because this bitch was cranking. I was like, why the fuck is this bitch shit cranking? Like this, her shit not supposed to be cranking like this. But let me also let you know that I'm not ever going to put it stop, because every time that Drake comes out with some shit, that 21 Savage and Drake joint, great. That motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Like the shit that the dudes is coming out with, that shit is straight drop, right? So what I feel like is going to happen, you're right. The women are on the rise right now. and I appreciate that. I love my strong black queens, but these bitches need to stop acting like they don't need some dick.
Hold on now.
You know what I'm saying? And motherfucking you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be a split between this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the first 6 months, the women's gonna do their takeover. They're gonna have they hot girl summer,
bro.
Sweat it out. Girls don't want to sweat too much. They don't want to sweat their eyelashes and their hair out. Come July, the niggas gonna come back.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro. Jzabel just named like 15 women, bro.
Bro.
Who they giving us right now? What men are they feeding us right now, bro? For real. This is the shift. This is the shift in the ozone.
Listen, I like it. I like the fact that
I agree.
I can play ladies all day.
You got to remember, Cardi B said that she didn't feel like making music because it wasn't too good. That she's going through some things. You got to understand, these women are going to be able to do it. I believe in them.
Let me tell you my
once June comes, they're going to be like, yeah, I need some dick. And I'm like, yeah, see, we knew you needed some dick. Stop trying to act like that for the last 6 months. Let
me tell you my synopsis on this, right? There's too many guys stuck on TV in times in the way back in the day. They stuck in the 90s. Mm-hmm. I think that guys jump in the rap game now after watching some TV, right? Or looking at YouTube and seeing academics talk about Chief Keef back in the day, right? And they like, bro, I could be a rapper, right? But this is what the females doing, right? Because we see it.
They're understanding
the business. They're moving around. They're talking to everybody. They ain't looking for their handout.
That's what I'm saying. Like right now, the females are taking over because they're understanding the business. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way you do it. And I feel like right now, the dudes are not recognizing how important the business is. They want the spotlight. Like these dudes I was recording, it was crazy to me. I recorded, and let me just tell you, I really did a DMV check to see who got their shit together. Because
a DMV check.
Yeah, like I recorded 8 different people, you know what I'm saying, in between DC, Baltimore, and Virginia the last 3 weeks, right? Before the new year. The last 3 weeks. I shot videos, I done recorded artists, you know what I'm saying, put them on them with the, you know what I'm saying, with the studio, recording them, all this and that. They don't have their paperwork together. They don't. And then when you start telling them about getting their paperwork together, they feel like you talking down to them. I'm like, nah, bro, like this is just what you need to do. Here, I'll send you the link. Here, go to, you know what I'm saying? This is the website you go to.
Now you do be talking down to them.
Nah, I don't. I just be like, well, why not?
Now to what you said, Sixxcess, we got our core guys that if they drop a song this summer or any time of the year, it's going to go off. However, it seems like if you turn on the radio, starting to hear more women.
It is. I went to the radio station, right? And I go through all the DJ pool and I go through all the new records. Women, Lil Baby. Women. I'm starting to play records and I'm like, okay.
So let me tell you, what's happening to a lot of the male rappers is they're dying. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them. And I think that's what has made the shift. You know what I'm saying? If you look over the last couple of years, Pop Smoke, Nip Hussle, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the male rappers are not making it.
I'll do you one better. Male rappers now are making music only for guys now. And the women, they look good for the guys and they're making the music for the women. So they're going to both genders, you know what I'm saying? They're getting a market from both genders. Whereas I feel like nowadays the new male rappers that's coming up, they're not even like how Moneybagg or how Kevin Gates to switch up and make a song and ladies gonna go crazy.
Yeah, no.
A lot of these new male rappers, they're rapping for guys.
Yep.
You know, and they're forgetting about the women, and the women buy the music.
Exactly. That's why Drake is the top dog for years. because everyone wanted to be gangster. And it was like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that the gangster chicks, like, honestly, a gangster chick ain't buying no CD, dog.
I see.
She may ride around with a stick. She may plug in the iPhone, but she ain't coming to your concert, dog.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
She out on the block making money too. So,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, all hood niggas think they can make as much money as a rapper. I could be doing that. Males are in a balanced situation, but honestly, like what's more crazy is a lot. It's not even the fact that the rappers are dying, because the rappers that are dying are not like the musical food chain.
What's the musical food chain?
Thank you.
I mean, you know, like the Jay-Z, Kanye types, the J. Cole, Kendrick types, Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying, 2 Chainz, Future. These are like new artists that have yet to even, we don't even know. Their catalog isn't extensive enough to determine if they were going to even be around to give us a lot of music. I saw a list of, they were like iconic rappers that are behind bars, and TK's picture was on there. And I'm sitting here like, TK? This one song, The Race, gives him the right to be put on an iconic rapper list. I mean, it's too easy these days.
Let me just say that a lot of people don't think about evergreen, right? You think about an evergreen tree that's lived longer than some people's grandparents.
Man,
those are the trees that lasted forever, right? They don't think about evergreen music. It's certain songs that you can make that are going to last forever, that are memorable songs. The birthday song, whoever made that song has been dead for a long time, but the birthday song is a song that everybody would know. Everybody knows the remix to the birthday song, the Stevie Wonder remix. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things that will always be timeless. It's certain things that are always going to play annually. Every time October comes, we going to see Michael Jackson Thriller if they're playing music videos. You know what I'm saying? When Christmas comes, they're going to play Mariah Carey. The artists aren't thinking about making timeless music. They're just thinking about making music for right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking about, man, it needs to be able to stand out the 5-year test. If you could play this song again in 5 years and they're like, damn, this ain't still crank, then it's made the test of time.
Well,
that it hasn't. It hasn't. It's old songs that you can listen to in the club and be like, damn, I forgot about this joint.
Yeah, but you know what though? Half of those old songs that we really love, because I'll be going through my 90s playlist, right? Mm-hmm. Those artists wouldn't survive in today's world.
Right, but their song withstood the test of time.
Their song is only as powerful as really the person playing it. I mean, like, if DJ Khaled was to get up there and DJ a set and he was to put on an old 90s hit,
let me
everyone would be like, oh my God. But if you
DJ
at a club, if you DJ at a club and you start spinning some old 90s stuff, somebody gonna come to you and be like, this, bro, you ain't got no.
Let me tell you how I could fuck them up. And I could play some old 90s shit with some of today's shit. Right? You could start playing Juvenile, Back That Ass Up, the intro, right? Mm-hmm. Then they got that whole new song that came out that sounds almost the same as Back That Ass Up. And I feel like Drake did another version when he said practicing.
No, you could totally 100% get away with playing a Juvenile Back That Ass Up today.
You could get away with playing an old song and bringing back a new song.
If you mix it correctly.
Back That Ass Up still holds up because Lil Wayne is the GOAT.
Listen, these songs have withstood the test of time. There's a Tweet song that somebody just did a freaking remix to. Say My Name. They just redid Say My Name, and somebody was rapping on it.
Beyonce is the GOAT. But play Joe Budden and puff it up.
Listen to what I'm saying. These are old songs that they have brought back, and they've withstood the test of time, right? People are going back and being like, all right, what were the top songs in 1999? All right, let's take that beat and chop it. Let's go to the producer and chop this into the song, and we're going to use the same beat. Man, it's a Bryson Tiller joint where it's the same beat as the Yin Yang Twin song. I can't even remember the joint right now, but it's the same beat as the Yin Yang Twin song. And when
Yeah,
it came
the
on, I was
travesty of
like,
my
damn, they playing Yang Yang Twins.
listen to 90s, early 2000 music. It was like the best era of music.
They're doing the same thing. It's recycling history. If people don't realize, it's the same thing. Will Smith did it back in the day. He took the old songs and getting jiggy with it.
I mean, what? Well,
But where'd that come from?
I don't know.
You
I
see what
thought
I'm
Will
saying?
Smith created it.
What's the other song he did? Here Come the Men in Black. That came from
Oh,
you
that's
see what I'm
old
saying?
song.
It's
That's
the
old.
old song, and what they do it's the same cycle. I guarantee you about to hear songs with Marvin Gaye samples coming out. I could tell you the samples that's going to be coming out this year because I know what they're doing. Once it hits the 40-year mark, they're going back into public domain, and all these samples are completely free now. So that's why they're going to be like, oh, I could use these samples. I could get these. I could do this. I could use these voices because they're more than 40 years old, and I don't have to pay whoever for them. Or this person's dead, and I don't have to use them anymore. It's only people like Michael Jackson and Prince who have their stuff secured that, you know what I'm saying, you can't do that. But all of these other artists, it's open, public domain, free to use samples. Why not recycle? Recycle. People want to save the environment. They want to recycle. Recycle.
Now, speaking of free to use samples and beats, recycle. There's a producer, and I can't really quite recall his name, but there's a producer right now mad because everyone chose to use his beats and put them on streaming services. And now he's starting to get a name for himself. Every beat that he tries to sell is content ID'd. Well, this producer said that he is getting all these people's music removed. And he's coming for them. Now,
I saw that.
I find it funny because these producers put their music online and they use this little tag to get people to listen to it. Free beats. It clearly says it. It says free beats. And everyone always clicks them and downloads them. I was a victim of it early in my career. There'll be plenty of my mixtapes that you'll find that gotta purchase your track today, sample, edit. I'm not ashamed. I believe that I was probably one of Johnny Giuliano's biggest fans before he got put on with Drake and them. I was actually proud of him when it happened. I felt like we had made it because we started in the basement together, you know? We were both just putting out videos on YouTube, yours beats and my words over your beats. Hey, but righteously, right or wrong, do artists owe those producers anything when they use those free beats? I mean, they never purchased their track today because it still says it in there. So they're obviously using the free one.
What I thought they gave like a disclaimer, like the beat is free until bought, and once the beat is
what
bought,
the disclaimer is
then
on the
you
track.
have to take it down. So
the disclaimer's on the track.
If you still use the beat without buying it and your shit gets taken down, then that's on you because you had plenty of time to buy it.
Let me explain something, because you've been to the studio with me before. Like when you're getting the beat from that producer or that engineer who's right there, you could tell them, oh yeah, can you move the tag or not? Just put the tag at the end. Or like, can you take the tag off? Because that's your ownership. Once you pay for that, that gives you your ownership. People don't realize they always want to do some free shit. They want a sneak way in. They always want, oh yeah, I got the hookup. No, stop being cheap on your business. If this is your brand and your business, take ownership in your shit.
But did you just tell them to steal it?
No. If you want to download the one that says free track today, then that's what you did. And on your master, it's going to say free track today, and you didn't purchase the track. So at the end of the day, that was your choice and your option. And that was also the producer's choice to have it available for you to have that free download with that tag on it. If they didn't want you to have that free download available, they shouldn't have that there. They shouldn't have it available. They should have whatever preview for 10 seconds or whatever long that you could download. You know what I'm saying? And then if you want to buy the beat, they have it on their website.
But the beat isn't the song, though. The beat isn't the song.
The beat is 50%, and you know how this works on ASCAP.
I like how you said that.
And artists who don't know how this works are sitting here confused. You know what a split sheet is.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that. The beat is 50%.
You know what a
Therefore,
side artist
the
agreement
producer
is.
is entitled to 50%. Because at the end of the day, it's a sad world that we live in that people are exposing their selfish. You know what I'm saying? I mean, why are people so selfish? Now, legally, I don't think you really owe. I don't think that you really owe a producer like the right to have to be there and to be in the room to give them their rights. Then, of course, a lot of these producers don't even have their stuff together, or that would have never happened in the first place.
Exactly. That's on them for not having their paperwork together and going saying that they work at a company that they can't work there because you never filled out I-9. You never filled out any forms to say that you work here.
And honestly, when we really think about it, if I'm an artist on the underground trying to come up, and one day I go to my music and it's all taken down because this producer I used all his beats for said I can't use them no more, do I really feel bad? I wasn't making no money off of them anyway, because if I was making money off of them, that situation would have never happened.
Exactly.
So these are all like win, lose, or lose situations for everybody involved. The time it would take for him to track down all of this music is even more ridiculous.
Let me just tell you, it's a lose-lose situation because one, it's organization, right? And like people who went to school, they know that if you're not organized from the beginning, when it's time to get to the end to turn in your papers and you fumbling through your folder, you don't know where your stuff is, or even if you have a computer and on your computer you don't organize your folders on your computer, how are you going to find your stuff? How can you be like, oh, okay, you can't say what date you put out this, what date you did anything, because you haven't done your paperwork. You can't say, oh, okay, I made this beat on this date. Oh, I got the ISRC. Oh yeah, what? Oh yeah. You don't have your paperwork. Oh yeah, I remember I emailed you that beat on this day. Let me just look back at my emails. You don't have the paperwork. You didn't do it. And if you didn't do it, who else can you blame but yourself?
Nobody.
You can't. It's a show called Bar Rescue, right? And I love this show because he goes in there and he looks at the bars and he's like, yeah, this is what you're doing wrong. Your staff is not trained. They don't know how to make drinks. I asked her, how much do you make in a Manhattan? She said she was going to pour 10 ounces of vodka in there. Who puts 10 ounces? That's too much. Like, they don't know the proper pouring techniques. They don't know what to do. How is your staff cooking in this kitchen and the grills don't even work? Are they microwaving the food? What are y'all heating up the French fries in a microwave? Like, this is not how businesses run. The reason your business is not flourishing is because you're not using the right techniques. And he'll go in there and in 5 days, he'll be like, all right, cool. I redid this. I set up your bar the right way. I trained your people the proper way. Your business should be flourishing now. It's simple steps you need to take at the beginning. Some people have stuff handed to them, and when they have it handed to them, they're not going to treat it like they worked for it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, do you know, do y'all know the story behind Bar Rescue?
What's the story?
No. What's the story?
So he rescued these bars. When they agreed to be rescued, they also signed a majority ownership.
Yes. And that's why he comes in and runs the shit like that. That's why he can come in there and say he gets a percentage, and that's business as well. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you have your own business, you can get rescued. You feel what I'm saying? If you have a catalog and you like, man, I got 180 songs, I'm not making no money. J Money could come in and rescue you and be like, man, oh, you got 180 songs? Give me 15% of your whole catalog, and I'm gonna show you how you can start making money. 30 days, I guarantee you won't start seeing money in your distro kid, on your royalty checks, on your ass cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be fucking J Money, like for real. You just need to do your shit. You gotta do.
Hey,
you gotta have your shit in order.
We about to start calling you Jmoneygibbs Bruce, because you a sharp boy.
Woo! Now I'm trying to tell you, you gotta have your shit in order though, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Or what you doing? You playing?
Someone said
Gotta
the
be playing.
MP3 is free, but you got to get the individual stems. And there's a lot of artists that don't even care about the individual stems.
Let me tell you, the only time you should not care about that is when your song has already been mixed and mastered and released. Unless you need to go back for some reason and re-record it, you don't really need it. Or you going somebody's requesting a remix, you should be able to have access to them. But at the end of the day, if you already released that music, that's the only time you shouldn't be caring about.
You know, like, I know that there's a lot of artists walking around dumb to this because I was one of those artists that was dumb to it for a long time. So I know for sure if I was dumb to it, there's a lot of artists dumb to it. You can pick a beat, and just because you're rapping, it's still out of key.
Yes. Yes. People don't realize that every song is in a certain key. And that's why if you're re-recording or somebody's like, man, that was a good song, just the mix is bad, having those stems is good because then when it's time to go back and remaster it, you don't have to re-record it. They can take those vocals and put it in key, or you know what I'm saying, put it in the right place.
Here's another thing that I didn't know, that I'm sure that a lot of artists didn't know because I didn't learn. I had learned it late in the game. But those MP3s that you download, there's a lot of data that has now been crushed and compressed and taken out of it. So it doesn't even sound as full as the full potential of that wave file that you could have got from that producer had you reached out to him and done it the right way. You're missing out on the full record.
So I tell people before they drop the album to always have, 1, a hard drive, and 2, ask for your sessions. Ask them to put the audio files on there. No engineer is going to say no to that because it's going to save them space on their computer. Okay, I get my audio files. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can put them on this hard drive. Or you can put them on this flash drive. Or can you airdrop them to my phone? Everybody got iPhones. Airdrop them to your phone. Save it in your folder that says files. Save it to your folder that says notes. So that way when somebody's like, hey, you got the audio files? Yeah, you can hit it and hit send all. Be smart. Use these devices. You got a smartphone. Stop doing dumb shit. Use it to your advantage.
Yep, 100%. A lot of people don't know that. But then there was this like other little thing, this little tidbit that I learned. That actually reaching out to a producer and working on a record with the producer says that both parties own that record and the right to put out that record.
So there's a thing called a side artist agreement, right? And that comes up naturally when you're in the studio with the producer because you're there, everything's happening right there on site. So that's where the 50-50 split comes on. If you are getting a beat from a producer on a website or something like that, that's why I tell people, like, even if you're getting a beat from YouTube, this producer has a Gmail. Have you ever reached out and emailed them and say, hey, yo, I want to use this. I'm about to put out a mixtape. I'm about to put out an album. I'm about to put out an EP. I want to use this.
And let's change the terminology so it's not confusing. It's not a producer. It's a beat maker.
Okay.
Okay. Why do you say it distinctively like that?
Well, a producer could necessarily have nothing to do with the beat. He's the one who makes it happen. He puts everything together. Sometimes he even funds it. You know, but he's the reason that project is produced. That's why he's the producer. I could simply put J Money in the studio with Rich and they make magic. I produced that. I could have get producer credits on that record without touching the beat at all. It's all about making it happen. That's the producer. A lot of beat makers send beats without even they don't even come over and tell you, hey, I got a hook for this beat right here. I got lyrics for this beat right here. All you got to do is rap it.
Let me just tell you how much 808 Mafia is a group of producers. It's not just one person. You know what I'm saying? What Justice League is a group of producers. You know what I'm saying? A group of beat makers. You know what I'm saying? But all of them have their part. One of them might just do the snare drum. Pick the right snare. The other one might just be doing the 808s. The other one might be in charge of just the keys or the guitars.
Yeah,
Right?
like,
But
the thing is, if a producer sees an artist, right?
Mhm.
A producer has a budget already in mind for that artist, whether it be a single, an album, a tour, whatever the case may be. The producer has that budget already in mind. When they reach out to that artist, the budget is dispersed to make everyone happy, right? To get the job done. 9 times out of 10, the artist and the producer agree to recoup on back ends. But there's already some type of precedent that producers go into knowing how to make a record become a record and not just something on your computer that you're pressing play on. And a lot of people get this confused. It's the reason why all of those people are called producers that he named, because they took an artist and they put an album out with that artist. They produced a record that sold, that made other artists want to work with them. You see what I'm saying?
they had a production.
Every producer in the beginning, to get the title of a producer, has to
Produce.
make somebody hot.
DJ
One
Khaled.
person, two people, anybody, any producer that you name is got that title because he's made somebody hot.
What do you think DJ Khaled does?
DJ Khaled is a producer, but he's a DJ.
Is he a DJ or is he a producer?
He's both. He's a producer. He doesn't have lyrical talent lyrically, but he mixes records as a DJ. But he's the one that reaches out to these artists. He puts these projects together, and these artists recoup on the back end.
Being able
That's
to
why it's an honor to work with DJ Khaled, because they know that he knows how to sell his records.
He can put a production together.
But he also has a budget. When he walks into his label and say, "Hey, my new album is ready. My last album did this," they say, "Of course you can have this." And then the next album can have 10 Drake songs instead of 5 next time because he can afford it.
He can show numbers.
20 future songs because he can afford it.
You know,
or these artists may say, "Oh, I'll definitely work with you because the last time I made this much, I know I'm going to make this much now."
This is what happens. You start getting offers in your email when you're signed up, when you have your paperwork right? And you'll see offers from Royalty Exchange. And they'll say, "Hey, we'll offer you this much for a whole year because we see how much you made last year." They'll say, "Hey, we'll offer you $30,000 for this year because we see that you made this much last year." Like, yeah, we know that your potential for this year is this. People don't know about this because they don't do their paperwork. It's offers out here. You could sign with a label. You could get an offer, but you're not doing anything. If you're not doing numbers and you're on Instagram. I remember, I think I was talking about on this show too, when I was in Atlanta and those artists won that competition. And when I looked at their Instagram, they had 544 followers. I was 545. And like no likes, no views, no comments, no nothing. And I was just like, what is going on?
That's terrible digital marketing.
Terrible digital marketing.
But the reality of it is, a lot of artists will be calling their mans my producer, my producer, my producer, and that producer hasn't even hit the share button. That producer didn't do anything besides make the beat, which he should be doing that all day, every day. If he's a beat maker, it should be just as much.
But why does that title just sound so like, I don't know.
Okay, you're right. The proper term that will be used would be composer.
Okay, that sounds better.
Right, the composer. He just composes beats like he should be doing all day, every day, anyway. The same way a writer, like I get on all artists. If you are an artist and a songwriter, I shouldn't hear about you doing anything but writing songs and putting out music.
You need to be consistent. You need to be consistent.
Of course. But to my point, what I was saying is, no producer in history. I mean, all of them started off as beat makers in their basement, in their room. And every one of them, when you watch their biopics, why the reason why I love biopics so much, right, is because it always shows you that one moment when the artist looked at his friend and said, "Bro, you make beats?" And he's like, "Yeah, I make fire beats too." And he's like, "I got a fire flow. Let's do something together. We can change the world." You know what I'm saying? But what do we see from composers? I'm being respectful. What do we see from composers now before they've even broke a record, don't even got a hit on the joint? Their man raps, and they're like, "I need $100 for this beat. I need this for that beat. Where is yo? Let's get together and change the world. Let's make some music and let's hit the streets and push it. Let's shop it. Let's I'm a producer. Now let me be the DJ for the live show."
Let me tell you, it's 3 producers that I've been working with now for 6 years, 7 years. And the reason I worked with them was because I went to them and I was like, "Man, look, I got the melody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played the melody on the keyboard. I wanted your help with the drums." And it was like, "Yeah, it's going to be this and that." And I was like, "All right, that's cool." And I was like, "Man, you got ASCAP or BMI?" I say, "Look, can we do this? I'll give you a percentage when I release the song. Since you already got DistroKid, I'll give you a percentage when I release the song. And I also give you a percentage on the ASCAP. So that way, over time, instead of me paying you just $30, you're going to make way more than $30, you know what I'm saying, over a year." And they look at me like, "Oh, all right, cool. You got the
your producers, though.
You said what?
They are not. They are technically not your producers. They're just composers that have a skill set in certain sounds and melodies,
right,
that you use for that project.
But you understand that now I'm able to build a team. You know what I'm saying? I got a team of producers. And I could be like, "All right, cool. Oh, you got the drums? All right, cool. Send that over. All right, cool. You got the melody? Send that over." And I could rap on it.
You have a team of composers.
Right. But I built that.
Until they all get together and make a record a hit, they cannot be called producers.
So I'm the producer.
I mean, you pay for everything. You do everything. You put everything together. Why are we giving out titles to people to make them feel good if they're not going to do the work? I mean, listen, I don't think Walmart is going to give that person a yellow smock if they're going to still do the stuff the people in the blue smock supposed to do. It's obviously telling me that they have a certain different expectation level that they have to meet.
Right.
So I'm not going to call you a producer when there's a perfect title of composer for you.
And that's what you are.
Because that will make you work. If you want to be a producer, you have to do this. Listen, Young Chop on the Beat was up in Chicago just giving away everybody beats until Chief Keef made Don't Like a hit. Then it was Young Chop on the beat. Juju on the beat. What was he doing until he got Megan Thee Stallion and started going Juju on the beat? And if the beat live, you know, Lil Ju made it. You know what I'm saying? Like Dr. Dre. If it wasn't for him breaking groups like NWA, Ice Cube, and all them friends that he had around his way, there would be no him. Kanye West. I mean, until he got, you do realize that everyone acknowledged that everyone was rapping on his beats for years, and it wasn't until he got into the studio with Beanie Siegel that he got production credits, and that actually ended up being the first Grammy nomination that Rockefeller got. Then everybody said, "I want one. I want a Grammy nomination too." Ooh, me too. And then they wanted to give him the title of producer. Give him a little budget to work with people. Mainly who they needed him to work with. Because that's how the game worked. unfortunately, a rapper or a singer or a country artist, all they got to do is make a record and put it out, and they're officially in the business. Even if they don't have all their business together, that's why we got the term shady business, rocky business, dumb business, stupid business, don't got his business together at all, or good business. You know what I'm saying? But the minute you make a song, even if it's a cappella, you're an artist. You can put out an a cappella record and you're an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you need beats or you may want beats, but unless a beat maker / composer is willing to really invest in you, what makes them worthy enough to say, hey, yes, I'll give you $100 for these beats. On 10 of these beats, I'll give you $1,000 so I can just make a beat and go on, and I want to give you production credits. No, you're not going to get production credits. I'm going to buy these beats from you, and I'm the producer.
That part.
I don't even have to tell them that you made this beat. Ever. I can do what Diddy did.
You can. Or DJ Khaled did.
So you're here to say right now DJ Khaled did not mix those records?
No, I'm not saying that he didn't mix those records. I'm saying he didn't make all of those beats.
Or what Timbaland did.
What I'm also saying is that Kanye West is right, the composer, right? You know what I'm saying? He didn't play all of those instruments. He hired somebody to play the bass on this. He hired somebody to play this. But you're right, he owns it because he paid them to do that. He owns the sound. He hired the choir to sing the background on that song. He hired the children's choir to sing that part. But he owns it because he has the master of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what the difference is in owning your masters, when you're the producer and when you're the artist and when the song is already out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm saying there's levels to having your paperwork right.
That's
because
why
people are probably looking back like, damn, Kanye, man, paid us $100 to sing that joint, and that song's still playing.
No, but Kanye, that's why Kanye gets all his respect, because he was always about percentages. Everybody gets percentages.
Right.
So, like,
but people want to do business with people where they know that they're getting the right
work, the right quality. But look, let's not just beat up on these composers who are calling themselves producers. Let's also beat up on these marketing teams or management teams calling themselves labels.
Wow.
I get it, people. QC then opened up the door for a lot of people, yes. But y'all ain't QC out there. QC took those kids off the streets and made them mega superstars. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if QC hits up a kid in his DMs and say, come on down, bring 5K with you, and you about to be the next little Yachty, all right, QC. I'll raise you 5K if I got it in my pocket. See what's happening. But now don't tell me about this little label in the city that ain't them broke not one artist. Your artists work at the hotel. Your other artists don't tell. Your other artists no likes. And you're here to tell us you're a label.
Let me tell you.
And then they hide it with this word, our services. Utilize our services.
Right.
Well, when I hear that, what's that saying that was going crazy? Red flag. That's why I wear the red hat, I guess. Because when I hear that, utilize my services, we're a label. We got the best services around. We're a label. You need us and our services. Wait a damn minute. A label is a job, man.
It is.
It's not a service. It's a label is not some company like Avon where you go in and you buy your little package and you set up an Avon party and you sell it. That's not a record label, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys really think that a record label is signing the artist to be major and they're telling them, come in here, yeah, buy a little pamphlet, buy these, buy that, buy this. No. That thing is covered up in contract, incentives, and other words to let them know that you make money, we make money.
Let me tell you. So a producer I work with says that like he doesn't go to the studio anymore because he was like it's a waste of time. All the artists try to do is just work them because they don't have any money. And then they want him to make a beat right there on site. And then they say, how much is the beat? And he was like, the price is right there. I have a website. I have my own website that has my beats on it. Like the price is right there. Oh man, I was trying to see if I could yeah, you bullshit and wasting time. He says he makes more money sitting from home just selling the beats on the website than going out to the studio. When he's going out to the studio, is wasting time, energy, and gas because one, these artists didn't even have money. They only had money for the studio session. They didn't have buy beats. And then they trying to finesse. Oh yeah, let me get that joint for $25.
$25.
He said he'll have it on the website at least for $29.99, and then he'll go to the studio and be like, "Yeah, let me get that joint for $25." Like, why? If the price is right there, why can't you pay that price?
I mean, if it's $29 on the website, he should
That's
be
the
able to get
least.
$25.
That's the least. That's just the least. You know what I'm saying? So that means it can stay on the website, and other people could buy it too for $29.99. But you know what I'm saying? If you want to buy the exclusive, it has the price on there too.
Yeah.
Right. So then people ask me, they're like, "Oh, where you be getting your beats at?" So sometimes I'll be in the studio and I'll go to the website and I'll be like, "Oh yeah."
But he's not their producer.
But let me just also say that what I do is if I do buy the beat, he'll take it down off that website so nobody else could buy it. So that's why only I have the beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's because communication. That's
That
because
is a beat.
paperwork.
That is a
That's
beat
because-
website. He's not
Right.
a producer.
Right. That's a beat website. But I'm just saying this. I'm saying this for the artists who go to the studio and go on YouTube Beats or go on BeatStars or go on whatever.
I mean, look, a label is not going to walk you in the joint, and as soon as you get signed, you can walk down to Kanye West's office and say, "Hey, I need beats, yay." You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to be able to just walk down to Lex Luger's office when you get a record deal and go through his beat catalog. Right? So we don't want people to start thinking that it's going to be what you call your budget. Why is your budget important? Because that's what you can afford. Anything over it, you're now broke. And our job as a label is not to make you broke, because if you're broke, you're going to complain. You're not going to go to work. And then now we're going to have to do extra to make our money back. Because for all you people that think that there's some label man that's sitting down and saying, "Wait a minute, he didn't sell. Go get our money back." And you start getting those calls like you get now from the collection office, like, "Yeah, hello. This is Jenny at the label you signed with. You owe us $50 million. Yeah, $50 million. How are you gonna pay it?" It's not like that. No one cares, right? Because that's what y'all think. Like when you get those bills now, it's like, yeah, you owe us. When are you gonna pay? No, it don't work that way. They suck it up. They drain you dry. They sell your stuff off in little things of publishing and little rights of upstreaming and little pieces and little parts of it, little pieces of your voice.
Percentages.
All get sold down until they make their money back. And then afterwards, they tell you never fulfilled your obligation and no one wants to touch you. And of course, you just made $50 million. So why do you consider yourself broke? It's because once you touch $50 million, you live like a 50 millionaire.
Yeah.
And it's going to probably be a lot hard to go back to all your friends around your own neighborhood where you made $20K with $50 million and have to explain why you back barely making it because you don't want to touch it because you ain't going to see no more. Now, they all know you $50 million up, so what they doing at your house every day, chilling, cooling, you got them. You the man. Now you're going to probably do your own thing, which is cool. You can be your own independent artist, but oh yeah, you can't drop anything new because you have a contract with these people that you never fulfilled. Or you can change your name. I know that's what they say. I'm going to change my name. And all right. You got me there. Change your name. Start all over. See how that works. I mean, because the only reason Prince was able to work as the artist formerly known as Prince, because he adapted with the time. And he didn't make Prince music anymore. He showed us a new style, a new wave of music with his new name.
I don't even think. I think I heard a couple of songs off of that. Wasn't that his last? How many albums did he make as the symbol?
I ain't gonna hold you. If you expected me to know a Prince thing, I'm a rapper. I don't need to know Prince
Because
information.
I'm like,
Let's look it up. Let's see how much.
what memorable songs does he have as the symbol versus as Prince?
1999, Purple Rain.
Hey, J Money, you see me using 2 keyboards?
We ain't gonna talk about it.
Well, we just talk about it.
We ain't gonna talk about it.
We just all right. So he started the symbol look like in 1992.
Okay.
All right, and then he went on to make a whole lot of music afterwards.
Okay.
But he still used Prince. But let's see, when did he change? It doesn't look like Prince really did what he wanted to do. He was his own boss. Looked like maybe 1996 is when he went to the symbol. That's his name.
He learned something.
And I don't see any, I don't really know how his albums went. Maybe it was 1 or 2. But they look like a bunch of remakes and repushes. So.
I've heard artists say this and they didn't even know it. Like Waka Flocka said that for years he didn't even know that he didn't own any of his music.
How didn't he know? And that's crazy. It's crazy to me like people like Waka would say something like that.
He didn't know.
I can't honestly think of any artist out here that should be thinking they own their music. Did you guys have a chance to watch the new Whitney Houston movie?
No, I don't know what it is about Brandy playing Whitney Houston.
It's not Brandy in this one. It's some new girl. It's some new girl playing Whitney. She did a great job as Whitney Houston, by the way.
Does she look like Brandy?
No, I don't even know.
Is that the one that came out in the movie?
Yes, that's the one that just came out over the holidays.
I thought that was Brandy Norwood. She looked like Brandy.
No, it's some new girl.
Are you laughing?
Go check it out, y'all. Go check it out. It's a good movie. And
she
it
looks
was
nothing like Whitney. They could have found
Whitney is nothing like Brandy.
We're not gonna find too many people that look like Whitney.
I mean,
that was the best they did. That was the best they could do.
No, they okay, so it was a nice movie. Sorry, it just threw me off.
No, listen, it threw me off too because the one Lifetime did, and then I was like, "Dang, man, they're gonna do another one." And I really wanted to see how well they did to transcend it. But this one was really good, and it really showed how Whitney was really accepting of all of the help that was needed to give her to make her a superstar. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't write. Well, how I write is perfect. Can I at least select the songs? Even better. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these artists out here, they shame ghostwriters. But they can't write a lick. I mean, you know how many artists, real life, don't have any content in their product? And I'm talking about indie artists who want us to listen. Because I don't want to hear no indie artists compare themselves to a mainstream artist that has a record deal. Say, well, he doesn't say nothing. Oh, well, his music has no substance. Well, her music is just talking about this and that. Well, are you also doing the same thing that she doing with her music? As far as how they marketing it, how they budgeting it, how they moving it. And let's not talk about the part where they get the deal. I'm talking about up to the point where the deal comes, right? I mean, like if someone said to me, yeah, man, shoot, you know how Gorilla got her deal? She did this QC show, or she did this show, and then she got a deal from there. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's if you said to me, she has no substance and she did this, but you ain't hit that show up, what's going on? Mm-hmm. Well, because you realize they already found the one they want. And then you probably realized this when you called to ask about getting on that stage, you heard the price.
Let me just also say that you can't try to copy and paste somebody else's formula and think that it will work for you. You got to do what works for you.
No. J Money, I have to 100. No, I have to 1000% disagree with you.
No, I'm not saying everything that they do, you cannot do. You can't just go sit in front of the studio like, oh yeah, J. Cole sat in front of the studio in the rain and waited out there for 3 days. That might not be the move for you. You can't do what Big Sean did. That might not be the move for you. I'm not saying you can't copy and paste and do the same thing, but you need to find what works for you. You can't do what you see everybody else doing. You might need to set your own trend.
I'm going to tell you why I totally disagree. Because those people spoke of those experiences in their areas where it was known for that type of traffic to be coming back and forth.
Okay.
So if Big Sean said, man, yeah, I knew Kanye was going to be at the radio station that day. So I went up there and I made sure I was there. You don't think that I'm going to start following that radio station? Because now I know they let me stand outside and do a free concert for my favorite artist.
Right.
And they put the schedule up there. So you don't think I'm going to be up there when my next favorite artist is on his way?
That's what I'm saying. But it might be a different artist. You might need to be there when Travis Scott's there because you're like, oh yeah, you know, my shit, man, my joint match with Travis Scott. We could do some shows. Like, you know what I'm saying? It might be a different artist. You can't, it might not be the same. You know what I'm saying? It might not be.
But this is the thing. You can't follow that step, right? Without following all of the steps. Because see, I'm not gonna just listen to the part about him being at the studio. I'm gonna also hear the part where he said he was willing to miss work to make his dreams happen. Where he walked out on his dreams. I'm also gonna say, well, if he signed for 15K, why won't you sign for 15K? I'm also going to look at the fact and say, this dude said that he was spending this amount of money in the studio every week. Why aren't you spending that type of money in the studio every week? Because see, the thing is, you can copy and paste a formula, but the thing about a formula is just like a recipe. If you miss one thing, it's going to be nasty.
Right.
Or it may blow up in your face.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you don't follow it to the T, that's your fault.
Yeah.
But if you pick an artist and you say, this is where I want to be, you have to be willing to say, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because they all have their time. They all have their season. And fans realize this. I can't be number one. Right? So they fight for that. They fight for that. Oh, when that's why they follow these artists on social media, because they want to be followed back. They want to be seen. Exactly. And they get followed by the artist that's just like that artist. And they're like, oh, yeah, I know Future, but have you heard Designer? It's like, oh, Designer does sound a little like Future. This is pretty cool. You know? And that's how they go. That's how fans work. Because Future didn't follow them back. Now they're opening themselves up to a lookalike. And the reality of it is, imitating everything to a T, everything to a T will definitely get you the deal that you're looking for. You can't be an artist sitting up that joint looking at a Pooh Shiesty page and saying Pooh Shiesty got 500,000 followers, hundreds of thousands of likes, and you got one.
Right.
And you can't tell me that like you want to be the next big star and you ain't got no shows.
You haven't done any shows. You don't have any streams. You got to look at these artists before they were doing these shows with Live Nation and, you know what I'm saying? With
why? But J Money though, why are artists dropping music and not doing no shows? Why are they doing no shows and dropping music before they do shows?
They think that it's magic. I swear on everything, these artists think that it's magic. They think that if they drop a song, everybody in the world knows because the people in their hood know.
No,
they think they're going to get millions of streams because their social media followers, their 1,000 fans on Instagram know.
They always say that.
They think it's magic. I swear they think it's
magic. They always say that. In this world of the internet,
and I'm going to send it to Lil Bacon Band. They think it's magic. They think they're gonna drop the song and send it to Lil Bacon Bear, and Lil Bacon Bear is gonna play it on the radio
for 90 seconds.
Yeah, they think that she's gonna do it because they dropped it, and just because I did it, they're gonna drop it. You think Lil Bacon Bear gonna look at the Spotify and be like, "Oh, alligator mouth, okay."
It's not even about alligator mouth or not. It's whether the song fits. You know, if it's
even if the song
worthy.
fits, even if the song fits. After that, let me tell you what happens.
I'm gonna tell every.
No, look, let me tell you what happens. This artist gets their song played for 90 seconds on the radio. Oh man, I was on the radio. They don't have their fucking paperwork together, so they ain't gonna get shit on ASCAP. They don't have their media base. They're not gonna get shit for that song being played. It's not even gonna be collected. It's not even gonna be considered a stream because you don't have your shit together.
I don't mind listen, I'm gonna be a straight up artist. I'm gonna be an artist prove right here. I don't mind getting on the artist's page today and seeing the alligator mouth. Right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it.
I do mind, however, when next month or 2 months from now
or 3 months from now
or 3 months from now,
it's still
you have one monthly listener, no monthly listeners, still an alligator mouth. You haven't done any shows, you haven't done anything, and yet you're telling me you next up.
You're not.
I have a huge problem with that.
Do the work. Go to work.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get off work, I know you're probably working, but when you get off work, go to work.
No, artists like that are not working.
No, they might be working.
Listen, I'm here to contest, and I'm speaking for every single working artist that I've come across. It's not the working artist, bro, that's music looking shitty. It's the artists who jump into music because they don't want to work. And they think it's easy, and they think it's not a job, and they think, oh, everybody just rapping and saying bullshit and getting on. I could do that.
I'm so upset with the statement Fat Trail put out in that interview when he's like, yeah, you know, you ain't really got to say nothing on the songs. People just want to hear some type of noise, so you can say anything as long as it has a good cadence.
When did he say that?
He's 100% right though, bro. That's always been though since beginning of time.
For me,
that's been since beginning of time, bro. Listen, do you know that James Brown's first song was "Go Home, Go Home, Go Home"? You know what I'm saying? Baby. You know what I'm saying? That's big, bro.
I agree, but I totally disagree because
I can't say
it's certain songs that don't say anything. It's certain songs that don't say any words, and they're the best songs. Bum 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 beat-um bum bum. Great song, you know what I'm saying? But I also feel like
Uzi just did it too.
I mean, you could do it, but I also feel like it's also about having good lyrics, having stuff that's sing-alongable, having stuff that, you know what I'm saying, people could go back and reference to, or else you're just making bubblegum music. You know what I'm saying? Music that's going to be good for those 30 days, those couple months.
When did music stop being a feeling? When did music stop being a feeling?
Before COVID.
It's always a move for me.
Music is always going to be a mode.
Right.
I mean, like, it's about how they can influence you to think, move, everything. So the reality of it is every single artist has that power. It's just a lot of artists don't even understand the simple things like, yo, you can't use that beat. It's not even in the right key for you. That beat is not the right beat for you. It's off tempo. That beat is not the right beat for you. It's too key. It's got too much pianos in it.
Well, also,
you can't handle a beat that big. You can't handle a beat that small.
Well, I don't know. I feel like artists need to either go with a vocal trainer or work with somebody. You know what I'm saying? If they have an idea, I mean, maybe that's not the artist, maybe that's the producer, or maybe that's a part of the production. Because I feel like if you have an idea and you're like, man, I want to do this, either you need to hire somebody who vocals can do that, or you need to train, or you need to figure out.
Honestly, bro, none of that matters, bro. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Fat Trail's 100% right. Why none of that matters? Because the ability and what you're looking for out of music does not matter about what you're saying, but more so who you're speaking to. You see what I'm saying? If I can go out there and start off my journey speaking with one fan, and that one fan turns into 3 fans, and that 3 fans turn into 20 fans, into 50 fans that all think like I think and listen to me, all I got to do is take it on the road to where now I understand these are my core people.
Fan base.
That is more powerful than you as an artist saying, I want to try to fit in. I want to try to be liked. I want to try to be loved. I want everybody to know me. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, I feel like this. It was more damaging and more time consuming to my career trying to be impressive in the DMV than focusing on just being an artist and just doing the work.
I'm gonna be honest with you too. The same for me, because when I was doing all of that, I didn't realize how much money I was missing. I made more money when I sat my ass down and got my paperwork together than I did when I was running around from Baltimore to Virginia to DC to Maryland somewhere trying to do shows every single night. Shit was kicking my ass.
I made more money. I made more money getting booked to do community centers, prisons, schools, and I was so busy trying to understand. I want to get in the clubs. I want to be accepted in the clubs. But it didn't even really matter. It's like at some point the light bulb went off in my head. I don't need that. I'm gonna go where I gotta go where I want it, and there's plenty of that for everybody. For me.
And let me tell you, the festivals and community centers, and like sign up now because the lists are open. But the festivals and community centers and all that stuff is great because let me tell you, they pay so well. They pay like $250 for a 7-minute performance.
I mean, honestly, when I look at a lot of people ask me, yo, Six, how are you still relevant today? Like, how are you still able to be an artist from 2006 to now? When a lot of them, honestly, I'm not trying to be funny, but a lot of y'all that started when I was doing it or was out when I was out, y'all styles has not transcended. Y'all still sound the same, and that's why you don't want to really do it. You're not going nowhere, not changing your styles up. But the reality of it is, a lot of the shows that I did when I was first starting, I wasn't in the light of everyone. I was with the little kids that was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You know what I'm saying? So now, how old are these kids? They're the 18, 19, 20s. They're the ones in my DM, bro, you fire. When's the next one? When's the next one? You see, like, why all the 30-year-olds and the 40-year-olds in my inbox, bro, you too old for that. But guess what? Y'all don't come. Y'all not the ones packing out my shows.
Yeah.
That part.
And yes, my shows be packed. Y'all not the ones in there. It's the 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25-year-olds.
They love that shit.
They the ones in there going crazy. More. I know you doing this one. You know, so when we start thinking about it, is I put myself in a position to grow with fans.
Growers, yeah.
You know, to have some type of people that were willing to tell me as I grew in my career what they like, what they didn't like.
Listen, you grow with the growers and you learn from the experienced, right? So the people who are not yet in the game but are growing in the game, you're almost like a mentor to them, right? And then the people who are already experienced in the game, you learn, oh, okay, what have you already done? Okay, how can I adapt that to these times now? Well, yeah, you know, I was selling, you know what I'm saying? I was selling my records straight out the trunk of my car. Cool. So now that we don't got CDs, how can I transfer that to today's? You know what I'm saying?
But everybody that has said that to me got no record sales or sold 9 units.
What you talking about? The CD?
Everybody that said to me, I sold records out the trunk of my car.
Right. But what if you learned from that? Right. You
Selling
learned that,
records out the trunk of my car was not smart.
and
It was a waste of time.
that the
Waste
best
of
audience and crowd for you to sell your records to is where?
in the club,
You see what I'm saying?
on the streets.
You see what I'm saying? But how was
Not-
that able to transcend? You were able to transcend instead of me selling it out the trunk of my car. I'm gonna play it out my car. Oh, when I'm going past here, I'm gonna play it. So when they stop, I'm like, "Hey, who's that?" And when they Shazam it,
But
oh,
the thing about it is, no. The thing about it is, what I realize is, you can't do that, right? You have to put people in position
to listen.
that play, yes, to listen. And the only way to do that is to go where the listeners are. You can't sit up that journey and be like, oh, I want the whole world to hear me and scared to pay to get on the radio. Or I want to be the best performer in the world, but you're not trying to get on the big stage. I mean, listen, I get it. You want to be paid to get on that big stage, but you have to buy your space to show people. Listen, if I wanted to open up my own law firm, I could go in and I could work at someone's law firm, and I could very much so be the best lawyer there, but on that wall it'll say Will Schmidt and Schmeikers Law Firm, and they'll be looking for me. Sixxcess, you're the best lawyer here, bro. When you gonna get your own? Well, I'm not gonna get my own until I buy my own building first and put my name on the wall. And after I do that, then the clients start rolling in. They start coming in. They see the work. I may have to do a pro bono case to show that I'm the man, but after I've already worked for people, then it's easy. That's why I tell a lot of people, hey, listen, getting the record deal is not the bad thing. The problem with getting the record deal is all of y'all believe the record deal is the devil. And now, thanks to my friend Kanye, he didn't help it out none. I mean, everybody sacrificed. Everybody just gave up a whole list, didn't he? Now, I'm not going to sit up here and act stupid to the facts. Oh, Lord. They choking me up. The Illuminati choking me up.
Are you okay over there?
The Illuminati choking me up. They're not going to let me say it. But I knew that list. I knew about that list. I knew about that list, Lord. I mean, listen. There has been a lot of talk about sacrifices and who was sacrificed and who sacrificed who. And woo!
Kanye's been really quiet recently.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's what they do with us black men. They silence us first. Yeah. That boy. Hey, they when they mess with, once you start messing with a man's Cash App and Apple Pay, you know it's serious. You feel me? They started messing with Kanye's Cash App and Apple Pay. Yeah, he gonna be quiet. You know where he probably chilling at somewhere free. You know what I'm saying?
Somewhere out that they don't take Apple Pay or Cash App.
EBT right now.
Nigga, it's somewhere that takes EBT and not Apple Pay or Cash App because we know he can't use that right now. So they
why can't he use Apple Pay or Cash App?
They was messing with his money. They was messing with all his money.
Yeah, they froze his accounts. And
because nobody told Kanye that you can't send $100,000 through Cash App. It's the limit on that joint. It says it on Cash App. So I guess Kanye wasn't used to limits. But listen, I don't understand how a billionaire uses Cash App and those type of frivolous things anyway. You would think that one would be able to just walk into the bank and grab a few $100.
Well, I don't think they cut off his Zelle, so I think he still has access to Zelle.
You know what? Speaking of Zelle, I did something, y'all. I got a Zelle today.
Oh,
congratulate!
Clap me up.
I mean, what do you mean got one?
You could Zelle Sixxcess now.
You can Zelle Sixxcess now. Yep.
Hold on, but what do you mean got one?
That before today you couldn't Zelle Sixxcess, but now today you can.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to get Zelle.
So it's an app.
It's automatically. I thought it was automatic.
Okay. So I get it. Jzabel is one of those people who's always had a bank account. I believe that a few months ago, I told you guys I finally jumped into the big people world and got myself a bank account. I've
I'm
been
sorry.
using banks for years.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I-
Y'all have me confused.
Listen,
I'm like,
I've been
how
one
do
of
you
those
get
people.
Zelle?
I'm one of those people that never trust banks. All my friends with banks had Zelle, and they just love it. And I had never went through with it because I just was violated by a few banks back in my day, and I'm one that don't like to be violated, you know. So I just haven't never trusted banks, and
Well,
I
well,
finally stepped myself up, y'all, and got a
that's
bank account. And
that's
now I finally have a Zelle.
that's understandable. Bank fees and overdraft fees, however, can be avoided. But I mean, I see nothing wrong with the bank. I actually thought that you how so how do you get your money from ASCAP? Like they send
Oh,
you a paper check?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's possible
send your
too.
boy a paper check.
Yeah, they can send paper checks.
Woo! Welcome to the welcome
Got
over
Bank of America
here.
name on it. And actually, it had Bank of America, and then now they started going through Navy Federal, so I was good with it. Just walk right into the bank and cash it like a boss.
Yeah,
Really?
but ASCAP
Too much
ASCAP
time in
could
your
do
hands.
ASCAP could do Cash App, Zelle, or you could Venmo it. So you know what I'm saying? They have other options that you could do your
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. When they made Cash App, that changed my life because I was like, wait a minute, I ain't gotta carry cash no more. There was a time. There was a time when you could walk in my like home, and I used to keep like little tubs of just money, just cash, and just sitting around.
You know what's interesting is that's actually what you're doing now is good. But I've seen something recently where it was basically saying that you shouldn't keep your money in a bank.
well, I believe that you should keep it in what's called an investment fund or unsecured compound interest account. So that means that
Look at this nigga here.
whatever account that you have this money in, it's growing, right? So they have a lot of banks have a secured savings, right? And what it does is it has a percentage. It might say whatever 1.8 whatever percentage. That's good because it's saying that if you leave that money there, it's going to grow. So
Boy,
leaving money in places like that is good. But if you're putting money in the bank and you know what I'm saying, you're not doing it and they have monthly fees and this and that,
Mhm.
there's no point in doing it. Because at
Yeah.
the
you
end of
know
the
what?
year, you losing money by all the fees the bank's charging. You need to look at what type of bank accounts you're doing. And a lot of times credit unions are much better in terms of if you're trying to save money. If you saying you putting $1 aside a day for a year, that $365 can be 700 and whatever. You know what I'm saying? $730 because it doubled because you put it in a proper savings.
See,
You know what
like,
I'm
man,
saying?
I ain't gonna lie to you, J Money. Forget all that. I don't care. I just got the bank account because we dealing with too much money and taxes and stuff like that. We have to keep this stuff accredited because I heard that you can get money back off this stuff. I'm
Yeah.
starting to learn. Listen, like every year I learn something more and more major
Paperwork.
about my life. You know,
You need to
like
have
the
a
days of
paperwork.
just keeping a bunch of cash around is over. Like
You don't
can't
have an
do that.
expense sheet. You can't show your expenses, right? You know what I'm saying? If
Can't
you
show what
put
you're spending on, man. You got to do it right.
no, I mean, if you do it every time you spend cash and you keep the receipt and you go back and you write it down and you have a ledger and you have a book of all of your, you know what I'm saying, all of the joints you did, cool.
Plus, if you
You
got
got
cash, everybody knows around you that you have money. If you have a bank account, you're always broke.
Is that what you think?
You know,
That's what I say.
I ain't got no
I
money.
ain't got no money.
And when I go to swipe my card, it get declined because it's like locked or some shit. You know
Uh,
what I'm saying?
oh well, I don't go that far. I ain't got no money.
I put the cash out thing on that joint to where if you request money from me, tell you I ain't even got it. But at this time, I need y'all to like and subscribe.
Down at the bottom.
And yes, y'all know we definitely. It's the first show of the year. It was,
Yes.
and we're gonna have a good show a good shows this year. We got some really good guests lined up too. I'm trying. Listen, we need to try and get Kodak on here. Somebody see if we can make that happen. We need to get Kodak on here.
Kodak Black.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to get some DMV artists on here too. I'm trying to see if we can interview Trail, y'all. But Trail won't respond to my messages. And somebody get Big Flock to come through this year. We gotta go crazy this year.
All right, let's see if we get some people to come through.
Yeah.
Coming through.
Y'all tell us some people that y'all want us to interview. Y'all want to see us reach out to. We're gonna reach out to them. This year gonna be a really big year. Did y'all make a New Year's resolution?
No.
J Money, did you?
No, I don't even know.
Did you make a New Year goal sheet?
Oh, I made like a vision board.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, J Money?
Huh?
You keep doing this shit here. You keep doing this shit here. A vision board?
Yeah, basically.
What was the banking thing you said? I already forgot.
Unsecured compound interest.
Unsecured compound. You know why they put all those words in it, because it's not for us, and you broke the code. You should put a link to that on somewhere where I can find it to share with the people.
No, just watch this video again. Make sure you like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Like this video again.
Like and subscribe. And watch it all the way through, and you're going to hear what that was. Now, what y'all got coming up to pop off the new year?
Want me to go first? Well, I'm gonna give you guys a good old my phone just died. I'm gonna give y'all a good
rundown.
8 days to get y'all music out. It's the first week of the year. I'm sure not too many people put out music in the past 2 days. Well, today or yesterday. So the Indie Grussel does return next Tuesday. Trying to see what you guys putting out this year. If y'all don't have enough music out there, then y'all just gonna have to wait another week. But more than likely we'll be back on the Indie Grussel next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Instagram Live. Also, I'm not even gonna tell y'all that part, but
can I make one request about the Indie Grussel?
What?
If it ain't mixed, can you turn it off?
Okay.
Please.
Some of y'all artists, and you know who you are.
You mean?
But that shit was trifling.
That shit was
like it was the last one of the year. You supposed to give us your best.
I ain't gonna lie. I turned the volume down.
If your music ain't mixed, bruh, or lady, sir or ma'am, how they say in the military, if your music ain't mixed, sir or ma'am, because it's playing on Instagram, it sounds even shittier. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So get y'all stuff together, man. Get y'all stuff. Listen. If y'all need, I got an engineer that can get y'all mixed and mastered for a good price. Hey. Even after you've done your production, even after you've put it together, all you need is your session. He can get you 100% right, and I'm telling you, it's one of the best.
He got
one of the best.
He got one.
They cost you a little. They cost you a lot.
It costs to be the boss,
but it's gonna cost you. Okay, go ahead.
So you're saying cut them off.
Cut them off.
As soon as the song come on, and it just cut it off.
To be honest with you, I think that the Sandman needs to come back around.
Hey, you need that. You gotta put the cut them off sample in your sample.
But you see, that's what the commentators are for. I'm just that's.
You see me? I'm giving it. Hey, listen, I'm giving it.
I saw you. I heard. Well, I didn't see you. I heard about it. I was like, oh, Sixxcess was in here getting on him. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it's for, constructive criticism. For me, pretty much, I'm just playing it. Some of them I listen to before the show, but then as they come in, I just go ahead and play it and see.
Listen,
I'm gonna tell them how y'all feel.
Every song that I give a thumbs down to is content quality, but like if content and quality is off,
that's it.
What? And honestly, listen, this is your job now. If you say you make music, criticism is a part of it. And I love you. I'm not doing it with malice. I'm doing it because I want you to get better. You sent them the song for a review. You should know if it's a what to do or not to do. You know? And if I put a thumbs down on it, or my favorite, the basura, that's a trash can for all you people that don't know Spanish. If I put a trash can on it, don't put that song out. It ain't got it. Ain't, if I put a trash can on it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you get it mixed and mastered. It's just a trash record. And listen, if your fans like it, give it to them.
Perfect sense. But yeah, Andy Russell, y'all, next Tuesday, Instagram Live, 8 p.m. Y'all also keep me posted on y'all music shows, whatever y'all got coming out. I will be out here in these streets this weekend coming up, and these following weeks. I will be popping up at different showcases and networking events. If you see me, don't be scared to tap me on the shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of showcases,
I don't have no glasses, so actually I seen Moose. What was that last night? Yeah. And he was like, you don't remember me? And I'm like, then it clicked, and I was like, you know what, bitch, you need to go get your damn glasses.
yeah.
But yeah, if you see me, you know me, just tap me on the shoulder. Don't think it's shade. Y'all, I'm working on getting some glasses. But other than that, yeah, introduce yourself to me. I do the same. Let's work. 2023 is a new year. But like I told my friends, if you wasn't working on it yesterday, or what I said, it was New Year's Eve. I said, if you ain't started working on it yet, you ain't gonna work on it tomorrow. So I don't want people to act like 2023 is just this new chance to every day you wake up is a chance to do something better with whatever the fuck you doing. So let's get on it. Let's work. Let's stay positive. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Jmoney.
Yeah, and just piggybacking off what Tanya said, you know what I'm saying? Like the best time to plant a tree is yesterday. The best next time is right now. And I just want to say that from this conversation, y'all have inspired me. I know exactly what I'm going to release. I'm going to put my new release out coming soon. I'm also going to do something different. I got a song that I haven't had mixed and mastered yet. And I'm definitely going to send that into you as soon as we get off this live, Tanya, for the next week. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that for that. But yeah, I'm definitely ready for this tour. My tour is coming up in about 3 weeks. So I'm going to be out of town every weekend, hitting a couple cities, pushing this new music. Definitely got some new stuff coming out. I'm changing the style up a little bit on y'all. It's still J Money, but it's just the 2023 J Money. So have some fun with it. Look out for the featuring J Money. It's the album by J Money featuring J Money. So that's going to be coming out real soon. Inspired by this conversation that just happened tonight. So thank y'all for that.
Well, if you know, like I know, we definitely back. We're definitely going crazy every Monday at 6 o'clock. If you're in the Pennsylvania area on the 7th, there's a show there at Webb's. There also, y'all know, our girl Lover is coming back with her show, Lover All Wild. And you're going to pop out to that one. That's going to be pretty interesting. I don't have the location on that, but y'all going to follow Bag to Beat Bundles for that information because that boy right there going crazy. March, we got a whole tour starting up in March, and I'm telling you right now, that's going to be crazy. Coming to 3 cities, and I'll tell y'all those 3 cities next week. So y'all make sure y'all be locked in for sure. Now, J Money is going to be dropping a new project called Featuring J Money. Well, I don't know which J Money that we'll have here next week with us. Hopefully, it's the real one.
You ain't shit. Also, let me just throw in there, y'all. Andy Russell mixtape. Definitely in the works, y'all. I'm gonna try to have that out by the end of this month. But I have some really good ideas about this. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Six. Not even only you, is somebody else been in my ear about doing it. I'm trying to remember who it is. But I ain't forget about you. So thank you guys for just keep on pushing me, putting y'all foots on my neck, on my back.
Your neck and your back.
Rest in peace, George Floyd. But
oh my gosh.
Oh Lord, Jesus Christ!
I know that wasn't funny, but anyway,
that man.
but anyway, yeah. So you guys just look out for that Indie Grussel mixtape coming soon. And yes, this conversation was definitely inspiring. I love you both, so thank you guys so much.
Oh,
Yeah, and definitely. Hey, Tanya, let me know when you're going out too. I'll pop out with you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm back on the scene. I'm in the city for a couple more weeks before I get back down to Atlanta. So yeah, we could definitely hit some scenes,
Definitely.
make some things happen.
Lit. Sis lit.
well, y'all know, maybe a new year, but it's the same old flow. I guess it's time for me to go. So y'all know y'all picking those ashtrays and flicking those ashes off and throwing those roaches in the ashtray and getting ready to roll up another one. Cause I am. We out. Peace.
Bye, y'all.